the fuck are you? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I don't have anything. I just want to be here. I don't give a fuck. And even when I got out of basic, I gave grandma all my money. She came in to see me graduate from basic, and I just pretty much emptied my bank account and gave her everything that I had left. And I was like, I don't need it. Like, this is fucking amazing to me. Like, and it was weird. Like, I guess that's why to me, again, it's like, I try to not necessarily promote people to like go into the military because they might not have the same experience that I do. But to me, again, it is kind of like going out there and, you know, trying something, you know what I mean? Doing something with your life. You know what I mean? I never thought that I'd ever have a house in Albuquerque. Damn sure I never thought that you would move to fucking Mississippi. But, you know what I mean, again, that was one of the things that held me back from growing with so much is I always thought that, like, if you left the res, you were going to be persecuted when you got back. I mean, there are some people that, I guess, you know, transplanted back into the reservation after, you know, we had moved back from whatever the fuck it was. And, you know, you kind of get that sense that communities will look down on that because you probably might have looked down on it yourself, or you saw other people look down on it. Like, oh, they only moved here. They're from Reno. They're not Scherzo and everything else. For a long time, I was scared of being labeled that until it was like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? You can't take that shit away from me. You can't take those memories away from me and everything else. I might go back to Scherzo now and motherfuckers might not know who I am. But it's whatever, you know what I mean? Like, times change, you know what I mean? So it's like holding on to that, I felt like was really egocentric. Holding on to like the whole entitlement of just being an Indian, like we were here first. And, you know what I mean? Our people been hurt more. I deserve a break and everything else. Like, I'm really glad I had an environment and an institution like the military to really strip me of that just to see what I'm made of without it. Because I feel so many people, again, hold that as strength. And they feel it's going to empower them. And again, without it, I mean, you're kind of held at the same level as anybody else organically. That's where I feel like the true strength comes from is, you know what I mean, ridding yourself of all the crutches. You know what I mean? So many people, they feel like they need that business degree or they need that house or they need that girl or they need that, once I get that job, I'll be happy and everything. You don't need shit. Go out there and start fucking doing whatever you need to. Like, I still have yet to take a tattoo class or an apprenticeship and everything else. And it's like, I'm just doing what I have with what I have. You know what I mean? Same thing with drums. You see me do drum off a couple times and suck. You know what I mean? I still practice at that. And that's the idea that I think a lot of people don't understand about this COVID shit. It's like, it's really going to exercise your self-esteem. This shit right here is really going to show you how dependent you are on society, how dependent you are on movies and other people's fucking stories and other people's stupid ass lives. You're going to get stuck to your phone because you're not living your own life. You're not working hard or whatever and shit. And, you know, I mean, I think us soldiers and us Marines and, you know, I think even criminals kind of could relate to this and stuff that when you're stripped of all that shit, you really have to learn how to occupy your time. You really have to learn how to, you really have to, because you'll fucking go insane.
Yeah, people actually have comfortable enough with themselves to spend a lot of time with themselves and you know, not go crazy because they're not out socializing, they're not going to a bar, they're doing all the other shit that they normally do.
Yeah, and it's like, it's a test of your character. Like, are you cool with who you are? Do you need to go constantly meet somebody interesting? You know what I mean? Like, are you doing cool shit or do you constantly have to see somebody doing cool shit? You know what I mean? For me, I love it.
They have to constantly talk about themselves compared to others while they're talking to others face to face.
Yeah, and in the military, again, you're strict. You have to have intimate conversations with homies, and you know, if you've been on a guy for more than a week, you know that dude's fucking first dog. You know that guy's, you know, first love. You know what I mean? You know his wife's, you know, dirty ass secrets and shit and stuff. It's like you're on guard 24 hours with dudes and stuff like that. You really get to know people and stuff. And I mean, like I told my homie, because like these days he's like, man, it seems like my circle's getting smaller. It's because And I told him, I was like, dude, because what we have is not superficial. You know what I mean? It's not that I like adore you or like I see you on fucking line or I want to be your friend and everything else. It's like, even when we're stuck in the military, it's like there's guys and stuff that you call brother and stuff like that. But if I saw them on the outs, I'd never fucking hang out with them. That is the most superficial shit in the world. That's what the military does to you, is they put family brands onto, you know, an institution like that. So you feel, you know, more drawn to them and stuff. But you know what I mean? When it came down to it and I came out, I started hanging out with more infantry dudes and more combat arms dudes because I had probably been through a lot more combat related shit and stuff. And you know what I mean? It was like, it was to the point where, you know, I recognized that a lot of my influences and stuff kind of would almost kind of make me feel guilty in a sense. And, you know what I mean? I got to like, especially when you get out of the military and everybody's like, you know, you need to get a fucking job or you need to figure out what you're doing with your life and everything else. And, you know, I was definitely in this big like ocean of nothing when I came back. I didn't know where to go, what to do. But yeah, it was one of those things where, again, where you had to exercise a sense of self-esteem. You know what I mean? You had to rely on your actual real relationships and, you know what I mean, all that shit. Oh, we grew up together or whatever. Those are the superficial things that you might rely on, really find out they're really hollow. They don't have shit too much in them to offer you. And again, unlucky, I had a lot of good dudes like you and a lot of good family members and stuff that would, you know, hold me down and, you know what I mean, show me, you know, what it was really care again, to really is like to actually care about yourself again. You know what I mean? And you know, that was the idea again. I mean, you probably remember me in Vegas, or not in Vegas, but Reno, tattooing my face off. And it was just again one of those things where I didn't know what to do else besides, you know, draw whatever and stuff on my off time. That's what I do, you know, play music or whatever and stuff. You know what I mean? And those are just those things that you kind of learn how to exercise when you're bored as shit and you're tired of hanging around dudes in the military and you smell a bunch of nasty ass and, you know what I mean, this guy's annoying as hell. Like, I've had so many people in my unit where it's like, oh God, if you didn't have double A's on your shoulder, I'd punch you in the, yeah, just, so yeah, after a while,
It
again,
teaches
like,
tolerance, doesn't it?
oh my God. And that was another thing that I realized. Yeah. I realize a lot of people out here definitely are tolerant in a whole different way that you learn how to be like naturally tolerant in the military, especially, you know, when it comes to higher command and definitely terrible leadership and all that other stuff. But, you know, I think that, again, that's another thing that you taught me. I remember one time me and you met at Dick's. I think it was that barbecue place. And I was by the bar. I remember I was talking to these two rich dudes. And I thought they were pretty cool and stuff. And you rolled up and you were like, hey, let's get away from the bar. And I was like, oh, yeah, I wanted you to meet these dudes or whatever. They're pretty cool. And you're like, I don't want to meet them. I just want to get away from the fucking bar. And I was like, oh, cool. You know, whatever. Peace out, dude. You know, whatever. And I went and sat down. And you're like, I don't like the smell of alcohol. And for a long time, I was just like, man, like, that is a big standard. That's like, not tolerating like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll smell it just because Quincy's here. Or maybe I'll, you know what I mean, meet these guys and maybe we'll kind of veer away from the bar. It's like, no, I don't smell alcohol. If you can put me in this position, I'm going to fucking leave. And that's just holding a personal standard. I mean, I don't want to drink. That might even give me a 10% chance of, you know, I don't care. No, let's fucking move. It's not that important. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I'm just now starting to apply that. I mean, I'm really now in my life just really starting to get to the point where I understand that I have been too tolerant to friends that have addictions that kind of flow into my cup. I have been too tolerant of letting people treat me a specific way without telling, hey, can you throw some respect on that, please? You know what I mean? And at the same time, you know what I mean, I've been tolerant to my own fucking behavior. I mean, I really was not nice to myself for a long time. I've been smoking cigarettes since like third grade. Like, you know what I mean? I only worked out to be a better soldier. I never did it for a personal gain. I never really did it for appearance. I never did it for recognition as much as I did it just to learn how to fucking hurt somebody even better. You know what I mean? That's all I cared about was, you know what I mean? Like boxing and all that other stuff. I I never tried to be an attractive dude or anything else as much as I just try to get better at my job as a boxer, my job as a tattoo artist, my job as a soldier, my job as a paratrooper. I mean, and a lot of that comes with just that kind of self-discipline, and I guess that kind of same thing flows into the cup of self-esteem.
Exactly. I mean, this is like boxing and any martial arts. It building up down discipline and self potential is the main. So is actually all the parts that I really like about it too. Yes, you get to um, learn better. You get to better coordinate different parts of your body. You know that the whole hand-eye movement thing. Hit exactly where you want to
Mm-hmm.
kick, exactly where you want to hit. Know exactly what
Yeah.
pressure to put on a joint to either break it or just to cause a lot of pain. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of value in that.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the idea of renegade art. Because when I did study martial arts, I mean, I never recognized boxing as a martial art up until, I got into the military and I recognized what martial arts was. And it wasn't necessarily a fighting style as it was a dynamic blend of fighting styles. You know what I mean? And you would watch UFC and you would say like, oh, this guy's a street fighter slash judo, or he's got a background in jiu-jitsu, or what I mean, karate or whatever and stuff. And what I mean, I felt that was the same way with art. What I mean, as far as like you would see this tattoo artist and he has a background in graffiti and he's a background in what I mean, calligraphy or pinstriping, or maybe he's just got a background in being a gangbanger, or what I mean? And again, like for me being a soldier from the reservation, like if I was ever a tattoo artist, those would be kind of, because I'm not from the streets. I mean, so those are my two influences that would kind of bring that dynamic of, just a different blend of art into that realm of tattooing. And that's kind of the reason why I created the company, was because I felt like art in that sense was more than just two-dimension dynamics like tattooing. It was 3D, statues, cars. I mean, you see so many people particulate their lives and their houses towards their personalities, and it was to the point where it was even your lifestyle was kind of a medium art. I mean, what music you listen to, what shit you inherited into your life on a constant. I mean, what movies you watched. I mean, and again, it was to the point as your life as a painting, you could paint your everyday. I mean, so many people wake up and they, listen to that song of that ex-girlfriend and put themselves in that sad mood, and that, starts their day out shitty, or, I mean, like, especially being a veteran, first thing you do is wake up and you honor the fallen and you think about that, brother, and, that one man that we lost, and that one person that, I mean, whatever. And it starts putting you to that funk and you start influencing yourself again. And, it's crazy. I started researching this dude, Tu Lam. He was a seventh group. I don't know if he was seventh group actually, but he was SF. He was a Green Beret, but they made a Call of Duty character off him, and he calls himself the Ronin. And the reason why he calls himself, because he recognized, like, when he was growing up, I mean, he had a mastery, I mean, like martial arts and stuff like that. I mean, you learn masters, but I mean, at the same time, you adhere to your parents, you adhere to your calling and your, responsibility as a student and stuff. And then he became a, soldier in the military. He was in the 82nd Airborne also at one point. But, I mean, to him, he recognized it as he always had a leader. I mean, there's always somebody above him giving him orders. There's always somebody telling him to be better, or there was always a entity or a certain association or calling that was always pushing him to drive to a better person or a better, character or whatever and stuff. And against a guy from going from the 82nd, and going to, like, selection and Ranger bats and getting a Ranger tab, and all the way up to 7th Group Special Force. I think he even went past that to like units and stuff. I felt like, I mean, that's kind of what I went through as far as being a paratrooper. But then he explains it as when he got out of the military, he no longer had a master. And so he explains it as like a Ronin, like a samurai without a master. I mean,
Yeah.
at that point, he's his own master. He's responsible for his own life. He can never, he's responsible for conducting his own missions and stuff. And at that point, he said that he wanted to do something better with his life, inspire other veterans and, gunfighters and police first responders and stuff like that. And I felt like I had a lot of that same thing. It's just because, not every veteran's going to come out of the military wanting to gunfight. Not every veteran's going to come out wanting to, get back into the police force or, go be a firefighter or whatever and stuff. Some of us want to come out and be tattoo artists. Some of us want to come out and be rappers or rock stars, musicians, or make movies or whatever. To me, starting up a company that kind of promoted that almost, to me, was just something that needed to happen. I'm sure that maybe one day if I open it back up and everything else, it'll have a little bit more longevity. But that was kind of the main point of it, was martial arts to me was an infinite lifestyle, because you can never learn it all. There's new moves and new dynamics of combat that are being expressed today in UFC. It's always kind of, mobilizing and stuff. And the same thing with tattooing and art. Like, you can never learn it all. You'll die trying to learn it all. And it's a great lifestyle because I feel like the finite things, in life, especially being a veteran and stuff, like you really, being a veteran almost, being a soldier, I guess, is a finite life. There's a certain expiration date to it. But I feel like being a veteran is always an infinite type of perception that you're supposed to have. You're going to die a veteran. There's never, entry, discharge date for that shit. And there's an entry date, I guess. Mine's December 10th, 2010. But I don't know, like to me, I felt like when I came back and, when I started tattooing and everything else, I was just, doing what I could do to help me and it pay the bills and, get a pizza every now and then and stuff. And to me, I guess I just was one of those dudes that just take things hardcore and invest back into it and try to do it better the next time. And I never looked at it something that I was going to stop as much as it was like anytime I did it, I was like, all right, next time I do it, I'm going to do it better. And I never had that idea of like stopping as much as I was like, okay, when I hit this amount of money, I'm going to be done. Or, once I hit this amount of whatever attention, I'm going to be done. Or if it happens like this, I'm going to not be able to deal with it. But again, that's kind of the same thing with like just finding somewhat of a lifestyle that kind of promotes you. One of my buddies, he's in, not special ops. God dang it. Spec ops. No, never mind. Whatever he's done. But yeah, he told me, he was like, I was going through like terrible alcohol withdrawal and like I just like hit a rough patch in my life. And I was over here in Albuquerque in college, and I was just like, dude, like I'm like, my life's going to shit, dude. Like I feel like I want to, stop going to school and I want to drop out and I want to do this. And he was like, dude, you need to go hang out at the fucking library. He's like, you need to go hang out at the gym. And I was like, I was probably going to go hang out at the bar. He's like, don't go to a fucking bar. You hang around bars, you're going to get bar friends. You hang around colleges, you're going to get college friends. You hang around fucking gyms, you're going to get gym friends. Don't be hanging around fucking bad places because you're going to get bad friends. And I was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? And that day I just pretty much went to go to, they had like a satellite coffee here, and I just took my iPad and went reading and stuff like that. And I mean, I didn't meet anybody, but it was just cool to kind of get away from that environment where I didn't show up home drunk as shit, and chug coffee till I felt better and stuff. And, again, it's those influences, you know what I mean? And again, I feel like that was another thing as far as, I want to say like, the lifestyle or like renegade art and stuff like that, was I recognize that, a lot of my friends, they're pretty fucking hardcore, especially the military ones. And, especially in this day and age and everything else, it is cool to utilize them, especially like, again, guys like you and stuff that, I love hard criticism from you guys. Like, that's the one thing that I feel like, develops me the biggest things is when I get to go around you guys, like, how the fuck can I get better? Like, I feel like a little bitch down, and I just guess there's not enough of that in these days. Like, man.
Yep, crazy shit. And
It's insane, man.
yeah, and you notice like building a lifestyle kind of around what a person does. Like a lot of those
Mm-hmm.
people, they have a certain lifestyle built around a lot of what they do, where they're pretending to be somebody else all the time. That
Yeah.
since I'm in the whole disaster and homeland security world, where my whole life and research directs is when it's really directed at when the worst shit possible happens. How are we going to manage it? How are we going to overcome it? How are we going to get by it? And along with that,
Yeah.
especially when the COVID breakout happened, actually one of the first things we did, I was actually really expecting it to be a lot deadlier than it happened than it's turned out so far. And
Yeah.
so one of the first things we actually did was started planting a garden in where my house is now. Before we started shopping for the new place with a lot more acreage, and kind of doing a test run here with the planting boxes, and had some stuff start growing pretty well, and figure out how to preserve like cucumbers by pickling, and the test runs on making homemade bacon by brining it just to keep it preserved for a while, in case shit on a grocery shelf dries up again like it did
Yeah.
once back.
That
Hey,
sucked.
we
Yeah.
get to do this shit and preserve a lot of the stuff on our own, grow a lot of the stuff on our own. Then we're really less dependent
Yeah.
on a lot of exterior resources. And well, we're really going
Yeah.
to get to the new place that we're getting. We just need to do some fixing up to be able to close on it. But around there, there's shitloads of deer, and it's close enough to that Boca Chica River to where there's I guess there's a lot of hogs around there too. So I have some like building traps for the hogs, and
Damn.
and since in Mississippi we can pretty much bait the deer on private property, just have the bait stand set up so the deer can come and eat all the time, so they get to like the place. Then when it comes to deer season and stuff, then we can just harvest them,
Jesus.
and for the hogs, yeah, make some homemade bacon and ham, and be a lot less dependent on exterior resources like that food from the grocery store. And plus,
If it goes down to it, dude, I'm gonna be the worst to like, because I hate vegetables. Like I've tried to choke them down and everything else. I've tried to get used to them. I think she used to make me eat them so much that I just like built like this allergic reaction to them, like in my head. But I decided that if things go bad enough where I start getting hungry, I'm just gonna become a pirate. I'm just gonna start hitting freight trains and shit. Take it back to the Wild West. So I've been practicing my draw. But yeah.
oh yeah,
No, I thought about, because my backyard and shit, it's not anywhere near. I don't know. I thought about putting like a couple plants back there and stuff, but I don't know. Even when it came down to it, it was crazy because I had so many people calling me about guns and ammo and shit, and I'm like, I done told you guys for like the last 3 years, like buy yourself some, like just build you an AR. Like it's not that hard. Like,
no shit.
but
I have plenty of firearms. I just got a little bit more ammo.
mm,
Things started going to hell a couple of months ago. Just because it's
yeah,
available, so I might as well just get a little bit more just to have on hand.
yeah. Yeah, I'm about to only order me like 1,000 rounds of green tip or something, like just to have
Cool.
it. Like, I mean, because either way, I just go to the range and shoot it. So I mean, I don't really hold on to ammo too much longer. I just pretty much try to go and practice my reloads and draws and stuff as much as I can. My hand's itching, so that probably means I should go probably buy some.
Yeah,
But
that's
not.
actually that's
What's
the
up?
reason why we're buying that place with more acreage, is just to be able to basically shoot right at the house there. So there's a second
Yeah.
story thing above that garage area. So I was actually just planning on
Mm.
putting a shooting room up there, put some sandbags out and dampen the sound. Mostly so I don't chase off any of the wild animals that I later want to harvest for food. And
How hard is it to get a tax stamp over there on a suppressor?
same as anywhere else. That's a federal tax.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna take you like 9 months anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I don't mind hearing the noise anyways, but
yeah.
I just don't want to. I don't want to chase, scare deer and stuff away. So
Well, that's why I brought I bought that little shorty 300 blackout because eventually I'm gonna put a cam on it. I just got a tri comp from it from Surefire. So eventually I'm gonna get a suppressor for that because those fucking things are quiet. But
cool.
I eventually want to do some fucking aerial hog hunting. I always see that shit on fucking YouTube. Do they do that shit over there?
I don't think so. I haven't heard of it.
Fuck, that would be insane. I see they do it in Texas a lot, so I don't know. But I don't know if it's like a personal dude or like, you know what I mean? They actually have a company that does it and stuff, but it'd be cool. Just go shoot some hogs. I seen that shit where they do it online and you don't fuck them things up, they will fucking fuck you up. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, they will
It's so crazy.
kill a lot of little deer too.
That's
Other than tearing
insane.
the shit out of fields and stuff,
Yeah.
they'll actually kill little deer and other little animals.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I guess they're starting to have them over here. Or but shit, it might have been in Nevada. I don't know. Somebody said they're starting to get somewhere, but it's crazy.
Yeah, they're all over every place they go. They build up populations really quickly. So from Texas,
Yeah.
pretty much all the way to the Atlantic Ocean, all of the states in between are getting kind of overrun with them.
Damn.
So
They're like straight up invasive.
yeah, so to hunt them, it's pretty much get a hunting license and shoot all of them you want to, please.
God damn.
Yeah.
Are they edible?
Oh yeah, they're just like regular pork. Especially you get the nice younger ones. The meat's nice and
Yeah.
nice and a lot more tender. You know, the big ones, just like any other animal, the meat's tough and shit.
Damn. Yeah, I always wanted to like go hog hunting and take one back to Shears and have just like a big old family barbecue with everybody and shit.
Hell yeah, when I get to
Put its head
trapping, I'll
on a
come on out.
spear.
Oh yeah, yeah. Once you get them coming into the property and stuff, come on out and shoot some.
Hell yeah.
I mean, hell,
Yeah, definitely.
because yeah, even the deer here is 5 per person per year.
Fucking 5? What the
Yep, yep.
Don't tell Kyle that shit.
Yeah, I'm damn sure not gonna tell Long Dart about it, because then he's probably gonna want.
Oh. He'll move in your backyard. He'll move in your back bush. Like, that guy don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah,
damn.
there's no drawing for the deer and stuff. The only hunting that there is a drawing for, that's alligator.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I didn't draw this year. I put in
You
for
draw that?
for my gator tags. I didn't get them.
What the fuck? And you just go find the biggest fucking gator you want?
Well, you get 2 gators with the for drawing, and one of them can be over 7 feet long, but
Holy shit.
the other one has to be between like 4 and 7 feet.
And what do? Just make a belt? Or like
Well,
shoes or some shit?
yeah, you can keep the skin and make all kinds of nice shit out of it, and also the meat's good. It really tastes
Yeah.
like pork.
I think my wallet's alligator. And that
Oh
shit's
yeah,
like the hardest fucking leather that I've ever seen. Like, I've had like
it is one of
shit
the
wallets
hardest.
because I have a bunch of shit in my wallet all the time. So, and that shit, I've had it for like 3 years and it still looks brand new.
Yeah, it's a really tough hide.
That's insane. Damn. Fucking deer, hogs, gators. You got like anacondas and shit down there.
The anacondas are in Florida. They're a
Ugh.
problem there.
That's because motherfuckers be just throwing them down their fucking toilets and shit. Or
That's exactly why.
yeah. It's fucking stupid.
Pythons is what's overrun.
Oh yeah, pythons. Yeah. 'Cause I heard those motherfuckers be jumping out of trees on people and stuff. Like,
Oh yeah, they just see a food source,
damn, that's so crazy.
and they're like, okay, yep, I can crush this motherfucker and eat him. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go for it.
Yeah. That's insane. It's crazy. But yeah. Oh, I
Yeah,
don't see how you're. How's it? Are you guys all humid over there?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's already like I just went back to Nevada. What was it, like last week, 2 weeks ago, or something like that, and it was dry. Like it wasn't even hot as much as it was just dry. Like fucking chap your lips and shit immediately. Then I came back to this bitch. I still can't stop sweating. It's like 75 in this bitch, and I can't stop sweating. But I think it's because all the monsoons and stuff. Do you guys get monsoons over there?
Well, you do get there is some of those, but also most of the year it's pretty wet, anyways.
Okay.
A lot of regular rain. I mean, where I live now, it's a swamp area of the state. Where we're moving to is
Yeah.
the hill part of the state.
Damn. So
Yeah,
the swamp part of the state, is that like more southern? Because
yeah,
I have a homie that lived in Mississippi, and I don't know. That is,
yeah. That bottom part from like where the boot tip of Louisiana is all the way across the Alabama border is all pretty much the swampland areas where the river's empty, kind of empty into the Gulf.
it's crazy because I think when I was gonna go over there for his funeral. I think I was gonna stay in Baton Rouge for a night. That's like right before Mississippi, right?
Yeah,
Louisiana.
it's about an hour and a half away from where I live.
Oh, okay. God, just that drive across Texas is a bitch, though.
Yeah, it's fucking brutal.
I hit a flash flood one time in that stupid ass little Kia Soul of Ariel's, and damn, I was going too fast already, so I couldn't slow down. She was like, "What are you gonna do?" And I was like, "Zzz," and I just kicked that fucking bitch down a gear, and dude, we almost got stuck in that bitch. But the water was like right up here to the door and shit. But hell no, I prevailed.
Good, good. Yeah, one time when I was going across that top part of Texas, and I think it's one of the times when Louisiana flooded in 2016. And outright when I was leaving about Amarillo till almost when I got about to Dallas, it was just raining like a motherfucker the whole time. And I drove through a couple of those little small towns. It was pretty much just like driving through water, and I was really wanting to pull off somewhere and just kind of
Yeah.
take a good nap and wait for the water to go away. But if I every time I try to turn off, I ended up just being a big ass puddle of water. So I started driving into them.
Mhm.
So I turned real quick to get back on the road, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I did that shit in the snow one time going back to going back to Nevada. It was like 2 years ago or something, like 3 years ago almost when uh it was like Christmas time or whatever. But everything was chill. Everything was going good except for right when I got like right going to that hill in Truckee, and I never seen snow come down that fast. And it was to the point because I was with Farva and I got scared. I was like, we're gonna fucking pull over. And we pulled over and the snow started just like slowly building. I was like, we gotta fucking keep driving because we're gonna get stuck at this bitch. Like somebody's gonna hit us thinking we're a
yeah,
fucking big old snow pile or some shit. Yeah, it
oh
was
shit.
scary.
I was like it was a hell of a snowstorm. I think I was leaving Grand on one Christmas, and
Yeah.
motorcycle when I lived back home when I lived in Reno, and it started snowing like a motherfucker after I got out of Fernley, and yeah, I'm on my motorcycle, and I was like, shit, I can't stop because if I stop, it'll end up freezing. It'll be even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just rolled through it like at 15 miles an hour for
Yeah.
20, 30, 20, 25 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really froze my ass off.
That's so fucked up because we had a 82nd Airborne Convention in like it was like Columbus, West Virginia, or Columbia, West Virginia, or some shit. One of those. I think it's the capital of there. It was a shitty ass city, but um, fucking we were riding up there. But one of the NCOs that wanted to go with us and stuff, he wanted to take his Harley up there, and sure enough, like right when we got like to the border of West Virginia, it started just pouring rain, and we were in a bus, so he was like riding behind us, but the bus would create like a wake in all the road coming down from the mountain and stuff, and so he couldn't stop because if he would have stopped, that wake would probably just smash right in and like collapse his ass to the side of the road.
And
So like yeah, he had to keep going with the bus, and it was like no sunglasses, no glasses, white shirt, like no just him and his little Harley, and the whole way, I'm talking like 2 hours, just rained. I'm like, he's gonna fucking wreck. Like, but no, he rode it out. I guess I don't think he wanted to drive back because he got shit-faced drunk, and they found him on the side of the road and stuff. And some old cool retired paratrooper guy was like, "Throw him back in the fucking car. Throw his bike there too," and took him back home with him.
Yeah.
Man. Weird. But yeah, I gotta get ready for this tattoo at 4, so I'm set up, sterilized, and everything else right now.
Awesome, brother. Well, take it easy.
Word.
Yeah, I'll get figure out how this video thing upload thing works and give the podcast deal a try. Hell, we talked about just as much it as anyone else has, so I figured it'll work out all right.
Word. Cool. Yeah, just let me know if you want to talk again or something.
All right, cool.